Hi everyone, good afternoon, or morning, afternoon. Welcome to my sermon for this week. Sorry it's slightly later than usual. We'll start as we do with prayers for those who are unwell and for the world situation. It's page 510 in the Singers if you've got it. And we all know it, hopefully, so please join in. Shela Mahalois Esowenai al Harim Me'ayin Yaba Esri Me'im Adainai Oise Shamayim V'aretz Al Yitein Lamloi Draglecha Al Yanum Shoim Recha Hinei Lo Yanum V'lo Yishan Shoim Yisroel Adonai Shoim Recha Adonai Tilcha Al Yad Yaminecha Yoimam Hashemesh Lo Yakeka V'yoreyach b'layla Adonai yishmorecha Mikol ra yishmor es nafshecha Adonai yishmor tzeicha v'yecha Me'ata v'yad olam. I lift my eyes up to the hills. From where will my help come? From the Lord who makes heaven and earth. He will not let your foot stumble. He who guards you does not slumber. The guardian of Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps. The Lord is your guardian and your shade at your right hand. The sun will not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. For the Lord will guard you from all harm. He will guard your life. He will guard your coming and going, now and forevermore. Amen. Say prayers for those whose names we have who are unwell. If we don't have the name and you want someone added, please say it out loud at the appropriate point when I'm saying the names. Mi Shemer Chamsen Yaakov Moshe David Shloima Yivarech Es Pesach Ben Edel Yes Miriam Bas Neta Yes Yitzchak Ben Miriam Yes Chaya Fega Bas Pesha Yes Bunish Pinchas Ben Miriam Yes Chana Bas Nechama Yes Chaim Tovia David Ben Chaya Leah Yes Avram Shag Ben Sor Devora Yes Baruch Shimon Ben Freidel Yes Pesach Ari Ben Sheni Gita Yes Shem Azal Ben Chana Liba Yes Moshe Gershon Ben Fega Yes Joshua Chona Ben Miriam Yes Shlomo Ben Mindel Yes Avram Ben Sarah Peril Yes Moshe Elimelech Ben Masha Yes Mordechai David Ben Cyril Yes Yaakov Ben Miriam Yes Nichol Ben Henya Yes Yonatan Ben Sora Yes Kasrio Ben Fredo Yes Pinchas Ben Liba Yes Yitzhak Ben Rozachaya Yes Baruch Ben Tovachaya Yes Yehuda Chaim Ben Esther Bracha Yes Shmuel Reuven Ben Nechama Esther Yes Shmuel Yehuda Ben Kayla Yes Rafael Hirsch Yonah Ben Chana Yes Yirmiyahu Ben Sora Yes Wolf Ben Pauline Yes Yitzhak Isaac Ben Yudis Rachel Yes Nasso Ben Shoshana Yes Malchus David Ben Tov Yes Moshe Ben Shifra Rachel Yes Malka Bas Chana Yes Esther Chana Bas Devora Yes Esther Bas Rachel Yes Hershel Bas Rachel Yes Francis Bas Hershel Yes Leah Bas Karen Yes Yael Bas Sora Yes Dina Bas Sora Yes Simon Masha Bas Yachim Yes Shumas Bas Chai Liba Yes Vera Bas Sora Liba Yes Galia Bas Sora Yes Yudis Bas Bein Yes Leah Ben Bas Etel Bavoshem Nas Noaka Bavaram Bis Chazek Shvach Yamachim Aleim Lachim Apos and Lachazek Amachayosam Vishlach Lehem Meir Fushim and Shaman Lachavim Chogideim Besoshech Yisrael Fus Nefesh Fus Hakov Hashtabak Lamizan Kariv V'Naima Amen. Strong life to those with the outside this week. Tomorrow Shabbos, Norma Bennett for her husband, Norma Segler for her mother. On Sunday, Helen Fenton for her husband, Paul Lazarus for his father, Barbara Levy for her father, David Newman for his father, Jackie Pam for her father, and Catherine Sachs for her father. On Monday, Rita Watt for her son. On Tuesday, Stanley and Lionel Cordell for their mother, Marsha Friedman for her mother, Deborah Lewis for her mother, Ashley Pulver for his mother, Adrian Robin for her mother, Susanna Ross for her mother, Josephine Stewart for her husband, and Melinda Taylor for her father. On Wednesday, Danielle Levine for her mother. On Thursday, Brian Byrne for his father, Clive Conway for his mother, and Rosalind Joseph for her mother. And on Friday, Ashley Brett for his father, Michael Mandoff for his mother, Marlene Pollin for her mother, and Eva White for her father. Wish everyone long life and good health. El Marachamim, Eshoichem Bamroimim, Hamatei menucha mechayna tachas kam v'yashchina. V'ma'alois kadoshim tovim kazurakim masirim es nishamois Ephraim Shmuel ben Baruch yes Miriam bas Tzvi yes David ben Chaim yes Leib ben Aram yes Yaakov ben Tzvi Hirsch yes David Yitzhak ben Shimon yes Moshe ben Mordechai yes Shlomo ben Yisrael yes Freid bas Avram Yeshaya yes Tina bas David yes Chana bas Yisrael yes Esther bas Meir yes Basha bas Mendel yes Shlomo ben Leibel yes Freid bas Usha yes Meir Malka bas Meir Malka bas Yoshua yes Shlomo ben Avram Makoin yes Annette bas Mark yes Avram ben Yosef Shalchu Loilamam Ana Barachim Asirim B'Sei Second of Abni Oilamim Yitzhak B'Tacham Es Nishmas Abno Nachalasam Yinuch L'Shem Shkloisam V'Noimar Amen. We have a few Mazel Tovs to Lisa West and Gerald Nathanson on their birthdays, to Jeff Benden on his birthday and his second bar mitzvah, which will be on Sunday. You can catch at 7 o'clock in the evening on the Zoom from the Shul link. To Gerald and Carol on their wedding anniversary, Ron and Jackie Kemp and Helen and Martin Perlmutter also on their various wedding anniversaries. And also to my son Yisrolik, who was 13 this week, hasn't yet managed to be called up for his bar mitzvah. He did do some readings online for family and friends, and we gave the usual presentation from the shul, but hopefully there'll be an opportunity in person in the not too distant future, and also my son Mendel, who was 10 this week as well. There's the famous joke about the chap who is walking down the street. He sees a guy painting a shop front, a sign. He says, "What are you painting?" The guy says, "Well, it's a fish shop." He says, "So what are you going to put?" He says, "Fresh fish sold here today." He says, "You know, paint's expensive. Let me save you some money." He said, "First of all, fresh fish sold here today. You're not going to sell rotten fish, are you? So you can miss out fresh. Fish sold here today." He says, "And in fact, when else are you going to be selling it? Tomorrow or yesterday? Fish sold here. There you go. Saved you 2 words already." And he says, "Actually, why would you put here? It's not going to be anywhere else, is it? So you could just have fish sold. There you go. Saved you 3 words." And he says, "Actually, you're not giving it away. No one thinks you're giving it away. So you just need fish in big letters." He says, "Actually, do you know you can smell the fish from a block away? You don't even need that." The Torah, we know, is very careful about words. Milk and meat, which is so fundamental to most of our homes and kitchens, unless you're a vegan or vegetarian or you don't eat dairy. And yet the Torah uses 5 words to tell us, do not cook a kid in its mother's milk. And from that we have hundreds of laws and hours of hard work, washing dishes, switching bowls, what have you. So when it comes to something so fundamental, the Torah uses 5 words. On the other hand, in this week's Sedra, which my son would have read, and I have to say he prepared wonderfully, and hopefully we'll have the opportunity to lay it in due course, we find a lot of repetition. It tells us the gifts that were brought by each of the heads of the tribes, the Nasiim, the princes, at the conclusion of the dedication of the Mishkan, the tabernacle, and it just repeats the same thing. So it says, on the first day, this prince from this tribe brought A, B, C, D, E. On the second day, the prince from this tribe brought the same A, B, C, D, E again. Right? You could have just put brackets around it and said, every tribe brought this gift, these gifts, and here are the names of the princes. But the Torah doesn't. It uses something like at least 2 columns of text, I think, to repeat the same phrase over and over again. What's the point? So I've always assumed, I'm not sure I've seen this anywhere, but it just makes sense to me, my own interpretation, that is a very simple and a very important lesson to us. You know, we often say to ourselves, Judaism is very regimented. You know, you have to do the same things every week, the same Shabbat, the same Friday night dinner, the same Seder every year, the same davening every day. It's all very repetitive. It's all very uniform. It's all very formal. And it needs more expression. It's too conformist. I want to find my own way of expressing myself. And perhaps we're missing the point. You don't have to express yourself necessarily by changing the words of davening or varying your routine or your ritual. You can express yourself by the meaning and the love and the dedication that goes into what you do. Why are the 12 gifts repeated? The answer is because if 2 people bring the same gift, it doesn't mean the same thing. It's not about the gift, it's about the act of giving. When the Nasiim brought their gifts, each of them would have brought it with their own love and their own care and their own attention and their own devotion to God. Even though it may have been the same as the previous one, it's worthy of repeating. In the same way, I'm sure in real life, if two people bring the same gift, it can have different meanings, depending on the relationship, depending on the body language, depending on so many things. So yes, sometimes we need to look at our content or our format, definitely. Whether it's davening, whether it's the mitzvahs we do. I'm sure there's truth in that. But by the same token, we can do the same thing every day and still make it meaningful. You can have different people bring the same gift, but with different intentions, with different devotions behind it. There is a beautiful story. The Lubavitcher Rebbe used to get thousands of letters from people. And one time, I don't remember who it was, but there was a gentleman, I think he was a businessman who used to visit regularly, and he noticed, he figured the Rebbe gets all these letters, must be quite time-consuming and laborious, and opening all these letters. So he bought the Rebbe an electric letter opener, which 30, 40 years ago was, the bee's knees. And he bought in this letter opening machine. And the Rebbe came back to this gentleman after some time. He said, "Thank you for your gift." He said, "But I cannot accept it." He said, "When people write letters to me, often times of tragedy or hardship and sorrows, they seal the envelopes, not just with the glue, but they seal them with tears." And he said, "And when I open the envelope, I feel the tears." He said, "The machine doesn't feel the tears." It's not the act of sealing the envelope, clearly. It's what goes into it. Right? And if that can apply to sealing an envelope to somebody who's sensitive enough to feel another person's tears and pain, it can apply to anything. Right? On the positive side, to gifts as well. So I think the message is that even when we're doing the things that we do by rote, the things that we do over and over again, the things we do every day, the things we do every week, the things we do every year, which can seem quite pat and repetitive, let's remember, it doesn't have to be that way. If it's a gift given with love, with genuine devotion and concentration, then it's meaningful every single time that we do it. It's one of the challenges of organized religion. It's one I'm sure we can meet, particularly with a bit more time on our hands. And with more flexibility, we're not constrained by having to keep up with the chazan in shul or finish in time for the kiddush. I have a friend, who I won't name because he would never thank me for it, although I could. An old friend of mine once came to visit me when I was a student. And the shul service had finished, and we'd gone into the kiddush. And my friend davened slowly, which is not a bad thing at all. And so, whilst the shul was empty, my friend had stayed behind and he was finishing musaf at his own pace. And a little kid comes in with his father to pick up his talis bag to go home. And the kid says to the father, "Daddy, what's that man doing?" The father says, very disapprovingly, "I don't know, but it looks like he's davening. Someone should tell him, davening's finished now, it's time for the kiddush." We don't have those pressures, right? Our time is our own. Our mitzvahs are our own right now. What we do at home, in the privacy of our own homes, is between us and God. We have an opportunity to slow down a bit. So even the things we do every week, the kiddush, the davening, the benching, the davening every day, or even just reading, if you want to read the parsha maybe, you don't have to keep up with the person learning. You could actually read some of the commentaries. There's so many ways we can make it individual. Let's remember that besides for adding our own flavor to things, even the things we do by rote, the things that are laid down for us, can have meaning when they are a gift from us, given with true feeling and emotion. And that was my message on our small gathering to Yisraelik this week as well for his bar mitzvah, that we have individual talents and abilities, and we can all use them in the service of God, and each of them is different. And even if two of us are doing the same thing, doesn't mean we're doing it in the same manner. So may we all merit that what we do, even the rituals and the repetitive stuff that seems predictable, should have deep meaning for all of us, should be done with genuine devotion and concentration. We should make the most of the extra time that we hopefully are gifted now in this lockdown situation. We should all stay safe and well, and please God, at the right time we should be together for simchas. In the meantime, we should stay safe and make the most of the opportunities we have to do things with a little bit more time, a little bit more meaning. I wish everyone Shabbat Shalom.